warfare, or I'm sorry, have a smaller influence in community warfare, but allows for a
Is this the
smaller
same
queue?
team we just fought?
Well, I feel like we
Yes.
answered that. I
Oh,
think
weird.
I mentioned 4v4, so yeah, absolutely. I don't
They
know if I'd
realized
call it
what happened.
a raid contract, but I guess it doesn't really matter what you call it. I thought of it a little bit like scouting missions behind enemy lines with smaller groups, and perhaps it's even actually limited to a smaller tonnage range. And scout mechs and whatnot, so that's all on the table. And like I said, that's not something that's like in the distant dreaming future. I mean, I expect even by February we're going to be having meetings about this subject and looking to implement something like that. I think
It's
that's a
almost like they're
no-brainer
following
as
us
far as one of the
around.
easiest wins we could get to involve more players in community warfare is to make more opportunities for missions that don't require a full 12 players to launch into. So absolutely going to happen.
Okay, I think the next question's kind of been touched on too. So Phil, yeah, go ahead and jump to J-Man's.
All right, J-Man 5's got a lot of community warfare success seems to be based on numbers. How many players in your faction or how fast you can win your games to get back in the queue. Are there any plans to slow things down?
Land
Reference to
mechs,
community
lands.
player numbers
Triple
counts
changer.
to assist
Well,
smaller
I don't know.
factions to
Transform
be able to
planes
compete.
anyway. Decepticons.
Eric, where are you?
You want to try and maybe just
Let's set a
translate that one for
Christian
me?
Basically, that the bigger
yeah,
units,
Well,
have more control over
They
the
have it.
queue, and they can get back in the fight. And the smaller units,
Thundercracker,
it's harder.
Blitzwing.
If you could be a very specialized unit, but you don't have the numbers to be able to do a lot of damage in community warfare because you're tied down. And I think this is in regards to large units with 3, 4, 5 units in the queue, where you may have a very specialized unit with only one. And obviously numbers count. I think that's what he's getting to.
I don't know if I can give him answers like right now beyond the 4v4 things we brought up in that aspect. As far as like a 12-man,
All right, open both gates.
I
just
guess
like usual.
what I'll say for now is wait until the queue info stuff is done that I've
This
mentioned,
time
because
they're gonna know we're gonna go.
when
full
that
bore, so I'm
shows
gonna
you
actually
as
do
a
something
12-man
little tricksy.
exactly which of the 15 zones, and obviously the 15 zones is a tunable number,
Yeah.
we can make it
My
20
only
or 30 or
suggestion is
even
don't
as many as we
die
like.
Early this time, please.
When you can see perhaps that all 15 of those zones are contested and there's a number of units already in the queue in front of
We're
you,
gate jumping, right?
you're going to be able to make
Yeah,
smarter choices as a unit.
acquired.
You're going to be able to say, great, let's go to another planet. You're also going to be able to respond much more intelligently to the call to arms, as I've already discussed. So for now, I think we really have to wait until those two fixes are in
Target
and
destroyed.
see how it affects everything. And it should have a very positive impact. I'm not saying it will be done after that or it's going to be perfect, but that will help us really identify where we go next and what we work on next. So to the smaller units, yeah, the next couple patches should be significant for you. And but right now, I think ultimately in the end, it's it only takes
Guys that are invading.
so many teams to fill the queue right now. To make sure that all the areas are contested and people are queued up. So there is a kind of a cap on I guess the faction members that are in the queue that to hit the maximum amount to keep it fully busy. So it does limit, I guess, how big
New target acquired.
how much the large amount of players does have an impact. But there's no doubt that a unit with like 1 12-man fighting against one that can put on like 5 12-men and the only people around, that's going to be an issue. But also remember that 3 ceasefire windows is going to play a big part in helping that as well. So there won't really be the opposite side of the 24-hour window anymore where there's like no one there. It'll be 3 8-hour windows, and there'll be much more traffic, I think, overall, from again like the 3 to 4 hours of importance to 9 to 12, and then adding the other missions in the off time. So we've bitten off as much as we can for now. Again, wait for those next couple of patches and let's see where we stand after that.
No, I think I'm good.
All right, guys,
Sounds
I'm
good.
going
Thank you for the
straight
question,
two.
J-Man. And the
Get
next
one.
question
Just go
is
straight for
from
one. I
Wing
can do
Zero.
two.
He wants to
There's no
know,
mechs here.
it's also on the topic of community warfare, will there be major penalties in the future regarding units who constantly cancel contracts?
New target acquired.
Yeah, I think Paul and I talked about the other day. I think we're already feeling like we would like to
New target
Obviously.
acquired.
maybe increase the penalty for breaking contract, or maybe just in general making it harder for people to break contracts and to flip-flop as frequently as they are currently. But I told Paul, I said, let's just chill for now. Let's wait until we get this loyalty point title situation fixed. So that's coming in an upcoming patch, again, we're hoping for February 3rd. And when that's in, and the titles are actually displaying in game, and you know, you're actually getting MC and all the things and the various rewards, then we'll see just how much, you know, people are still flipping around, and we'll, based on that, we can make some, we can tune the, you know, contract break penalties and a few other things to and hopefully settle it in. But I just wanted to wait until we had that system fixed before we did that.
Sounds good. Thank you, Wing, for the question. Phil, you want to get a Rodians?
Rodian asks, what's up with the community warfare attack algorithm? Merrick is able to skip Lyran space to hit Karita, Ghost Bear's attacking Lyrans, and not able to fight Karita for over 2 weeks. Can you explain how it works? Is that something we can dive into?
Yeah, but not very much. I don't technically understand it. That's, you know, beyond me. But my man Carl has fixed several bugs, and those fixes are going to be in the January 20th patch. So I can't wait to see how it behaves after that. I know he fixed several bugs, so I think some of those maybe some errors around the distance calculations are going to be gone. So like especially that Merrick, you know, what was it, curative space? Was it? That was pretty weird. I don't think we'll see those anymore. So I'm curious to see if any of those weird things exist anymore.
Okay.
So we'll see, but I'm hoping it's all fixed. So there's no real reason to kind of explain it. It'll be just magic come January 20th.
And Ghost.
Sounds good. Thanks to Rodian. The next question is from Cutter Wolf.
Everybody else.
And he says, did we see a possible breaking up of the community warfare battles into attack phases, i.e. rush mode in other games?
Well, I think the way I'm going to answer that is just saying we're going to add depth one mode at a time, right? So February 3rd, I'm hoping, that's the target date, is the new counterattack mode. So what this means is the issue was, and I'm not going to go too in depth to explain like why we have to have counterattack. I think everyone's hopefully got their head wrapped around that now. You have to be able to take your territory back. And so right now, I mean, I guess what some players are frustrated saying, I clicked attack, and now I'm defending. I understand that, but there's also the catch-22 that we have to allow the people to counterattack. So right now, the next step that we've added is we've tried to make it so a counterattack mode remains a much more aggressive mode. So that means that those have people that are counterattacking, and those that continue to click attack are going to stay in an aggressive mode. So really, it's skirmish with a little bit of a twist. So the idea is they came in, they invaded your base, and took out the Omega Cannon, and now they possess that territory. You're trying to take it back, so you're trying to get your territory back. The attackers have not got the Omega Cannon, or the gates, or the turrets, or anything like that working yet. They're just they're on your base. You got to get them out. So you're going to land, and it's going to be like a giant 48 versus 48 skirmish match. And there's also going to be, though, a mobile field base. And that's really a necessity for us, especially for the situations where we have potentially a 12-VO situation happen. You've got to have some objective to do. So the mobile field base is there for that reason. So the win criteria really is to kill all 48 mechs and destroy the mobile field base. So there will be some tie-breaking situations, like come the end if the timer runs out, it's going to be the highest score. You can't just turtle in that sense. So I guess the people behind the gates could turtle a little bit and still wait for the attackers, but if they get behind the score, they're going to lose, and it's going to be up to them to push out. So I think the reason I like that is, even though it's not, some super deep new game mode, it will be an improvement in that people that are aggressive and attacking mode players will be able to stay in an aggressive stance, and even when they're defending a counterattack, they can really push the issue and go out and fight. So definitely the counterattack mode is going to lend itself a little more to skilled players. So we'll see how that plays out. But I guess the last thing I would say is I would tell everybody to just kind of think of that like, the first step in adding different game mode depth. The rest of our ideas are at the moment just that. They're just, small dreams, pipe dreams, and that's maybe. And I mentioned this last time. Maybe there's a mode that happens before the invasion called the landing, and maybe that's more of just a 12v12 skirmish outside of the gates. And if you happen to win that, then you get the opportunity to run the invasion game mode, and then of course after that you do the counterattack mode that I just described, just adding more and more depth to that rather than just playing invasion over and over. With that side note, I will say that the Union class dropship is being modeled right now. I have no promise for
great success.
the first place you're going to see it or when you'll see it, but we're getting it ready because I think we're definitely going to want to use it sometime soon. I mentioned that last time, maybe in the landing game mode, Union class dropship brings that, if it's more of a 12v12 situation, brings everyone down. It's going to look awesome. Obviously, I can't wait. And another idea was just to flat out use it in public matches. Maybe those are already 12v12 game modes, so it would just be for immersion's sake, but maybe both teams should just be brought to the battlefield in a Union class dropship to start things off. So that'd be pretty cool, I think. So I guess that's how I'll answer that for now.
Needless to say, Chad is liking the idea of a Union class dropship. Hey, it's been just over an hour. Russ, would you like to take a quick 5-minute?
I would. Thank you. I'll be back in a bit.
All right, we'll be right back,
I don't
guys.
see myself listed.
There you are.
See an empty spot at the bottom.
Green board.
Okay, off we go again.
I get to reset my dude.
Apparently there's an auto win going, or else we have a countdown, so I'm gonna get a drink in the meantime.
How much time on the attack phase?
Probably about an hour or so.
Is it always 11 Eastern?
About that, yeah. 11:20ish. So have a bit more than an hour, I think.
All right, guys, and we are back. Thank you for giving us a few minutes to go grab a cup of coffee and to use the facility. Let's go ahead and continue on here. I'll go ahead and take the first question for you, Russ. Mr. Troll OKC asks,
Not
could you
showing a
implement a
mech,
one variant
just
per
let you know.
chassis rule for community warfare, or do
no.
you have a better solution to
Yep,
fix
yep,
the lack of mech diversity, i.e. Timberwolves, Stormcrows, Thunderbolt 9S's everywhere?
I would, I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind actually implementing that. You know, but in general, it's a very, I guess, polarizing topic usually when it comes to limiting player choice. You know, whether that's you know, 3-3-3-3 or some implementation of 1-1-1-1, or in this case saying, you know, okay, we're not saying 1-1-1-1. You can have, you know, 4 mediums if you want, 4 heavies if they fit in the tonnage range, but just one variant, so you only see the 1 9S or one, you know, Street Crow or whatever. This comes down to, again, it's I suppose we definitely can go there, you know, if we need to, because it's hard to balance the chassis.
What would you do for?
I know there's a lot of people calling. So for instance, I guess we can take this moment now to you know, talk about the 9S, because I know there's plenty of questions about that. But I don't know. I mean, people didn't call for me to, well, maybe they did, but not quite the same way, or not from the same people. Nerf it, you know, nerf the Stormcrows, or, you know, or nerf the Timberwolves, or make it so you can only take one, you know, one Street Crow or whatever. But they certainly want that limitation for the 9S. So it's a tough one, guys. It is so tough. I mean, there's a lot of people I'm watching the chat here right now. Just as many saying they don't want it, if not more. So I guess the answer, unfortunately, is the clan players want me to nerf the 9S and get rid of its ability to do what it does, and the Innisphere players want me to nerf the Timberwolves and Stormcrows, and either side doesn't want me to do that to their mechs. So I will take this opportunity to talk about something that might change things a little bit. I guess we can talk about a few subjects here. Like, one, I'd rather not jump the gun, and I mean, maybe we go there eventually, but I'd rather not, you know, nerf the 9S right now, or go to one variant per chassis until I guess we feel like we're done, or that we've put in a lot of the items that we think are missing. Like, so for instance, I have another, you know, 2/3 of the mechs didn't get their second pass on the quirks, talking about Innisphere. They're in the bag, I just have to find time to do them. So we put that in there, and now right there you might have more heavy chassis and more chassis in general that are considered viable, and it's not just about 9S's. And then of course there's, you know, quirking that we can do for the clans. The clans, you know, haven't had as much priority in the quirking right now because they have some extremely powerful mechs, and they're still the most powerful that there is. And they have some chassis though that, you know, aren't as usable. So I understand that completely, and we need to spend some more time on those. We've put some minor love into the Nova and the Summoner, but we need to put a little more there. And then, but here's something for the clanners too. Maybe kind of say, maybe they can show a little more patience on the 9S, because they do have some extremely powerful mechs of their own that are very difficult for the Innisphere to counter. You know, the 3 Stormcrow Timberwolf drop deck is, you know, it's pretty tough. So I want to tell you guys now about a little something we have coming out January 20th. I think the clan players will be quite excited about this. There's an opportunity here to get some new variants. So, as you know, we generally, all the new mechs come out in packages. This isn't a package per se, but it is going to be that's only in the gift store to begin with. And the gift store, of course, you can gift other people, you can gift yourself. So on January 20th, there will be a new variant for each of the clan mechs. There isn't, unfortunately, there isn't one for the Hellbringer. There wasn't, I guess, a can one readily available, and we didn't have time to create one. But all the other mechs, including the Mag Dog, have a new variant. So the Mad Dog C,
Acquired.
I believe is a Direwolf S. Freaking jump jets on that
Target
thing.
destroyed.
One for 12 mechs. So that's pretty cool. So out the gate, this is how you're going to get them. Out the gate, and for 3 months. So very similar to kind of the package mentality, the package exclusivity.
Excellent.
It's very important for us to do that, guys. That's really how
Let me take a
MechWarrior
look at our mech
gets
loadouts,
funded, frankly, and how we,
and I'll figure out
you
what
know,
I want.
work on all these features and keep making the game that you guys
Okay.
want to play.
Bravo Lance.
So
Bravo.
for the first 3 months, they'll only be available in the gift store. The
Uh,
pricing on them is the exact same as, basically it's the exact same as their MC price, but
yeah.
it's a pretty good deal
The
because
Alpha
they're
Lance
priced
as
at
well
bulk MC
as
prices. So when you buy your MC at bulk, you basically 250, like the $100 bundles. I mean, you get your MC at 250 MC per dollar. So they're priced at that high bulk
Okay.
rate. So a much better deal than you're buying if you're buying your MC at smaller amounts. Plus they come with the free mech bay. So you get the mech bay and
New
the pricing at
target
the bulk
acquired.
MC rate, and they're in the
Target
gift store.
destroyed.
They're going to spend their first 3 months of their life in the gift store, and then after that, they're going to be released for C-bills, just like everything else.
Alright,
When they're
Bravo
released for
side.
C-bills, they might stay in the gift store still, because they might still
Ready to go?
continue to be a bit of a better deal there because you can get the mech bay, but I don't know for sure. Maybe they come out the gift store then, or maybe they only remain in the gift store in a kind of more of a bundled form. We'll decide, but the bottom line that you guys care about is brand new variant for each mech, gift store only at the first 3 months, and then they come out for free for C-bills.
Alright, Alpha, go.
So it's about the Omnipods, right? There will be new Omnipods
Hit
around.
the
They're going to be
stalker.
quite interesting. There's a freaking Mad Cat. I forget which one we went with, which letter variant it is, but you guys are going to know it.
New target acquired.
Comes with a PPC in each arm and 4 missile hard points per torch.
It's the Timberwolf D. Yes.
Yeah, Timberwolf D. So honestly, my clan players,
New target
please,
acquired.
let's not go nuts over the 9S just yet. I mean, you got the Street Crows, you got the Timberwolf, and now you're going to get access to new Omnipods. They're going to create new forms of insanity. So, I think this is pretty cool though, because it's the introduction of a new kind of method for us to not just create brand new mechs that take significant time and our resources and our capacity is only such to release them. But here we go, right? And we can release more variants, and it doesn't have to be just these 12. We can look at other variants. There's more variants available, and we can continue to work on these and continue to use a similar process for getting them out there. So, yeah, there's some neat hard points. Ice Ferret has. Does Ice Ferret currently have a hard point in the CTE, Phil?
Alright, rest of
And energy.
Gen 2, go straight for
It does, eh? Okay, I just noticed this one did as well. So I was just briefly looking through it today, and a few of them were standing out to me like, yeah, okay,
Shoot
that's
those turrets.
interesting, right? Mad Dog C with ballistic in both arms now, so it's really like a dual Galvus type mech. I think that's pretty sweet. So there you go, planners. You definitely have a lot of cool mechs to play with, so you just leave those Inner Sphere players alone a little bit. Alright, so let's see how that goes in January 20. I think you guys are going to like that. So, brand new variants for 12 of the clan mechs. Just
Yeah.
wanted to toss that out there.
I think where that question stems from, Russ, is people or he's basically asking, are you going to have restrictions? And he basically said it's tough because on one end you'd like to, but a lot of the community wouldn't like it. At the end of the day, it just balance back what you guys want to achieve. I think one of the issues also in his question is that just looking
Alright, meet
at
back up
balance,
the
you guys can
dropship.
balance in the group queue, right? 4x3, but what happens in that first drop deck when they have 12 Timberwolves or even 12 9S's? And I think that's what a lot of even solo players
know you're there.
or small groups are running into
No, they
is when
don't.
they're dropping.
Okay,
They're
just
going up
just
against
hang out
12
there.
Stormtroopers or 12 5S's,
don't do
and
anything. Don't even shoot 'em.
is that balanced? But
I
that's
just
what
got
you
low
get when
signal.
you have a, sort of the freedom to be able to do that, right?
Fucking spider.
Yeah, I mean, it's what a lot of players want,
Airstrike
and there's so
online.
many subjects like that in
Online.
MechWarrior. It's
Sensors
it seems
online.
like everything is
Weapons online.
Polarizing.
it's very polarizing. There's so many
All
polarizing
systems
subjects.
Very
online.
passionate community.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to let's be a little more patient on that, and I'd like to see you know, more variety. I'm the type of player that would generally like to see more like you know, one variant or even the 1111 and things like that, because I like a lot of variety. But it's also much easier for us to balance, so it's probably why I like it as well. So anyhow, there you go.
Cool, thank you for the questions, Control. The next question, I'm actually going to combine the next two questions because they're both have to do with rewards and community warfare. The first one's from Steve Mack, which is basically asking, would it be possible to increase the base C-bill rewards in community warfare when lost salvage? And then Sabujo, along with planet rewarding, along with planets rewarding units for having their tag on it, will it be possible to upgrade planet and dropship defenses with coffer funds? So, but to expand on Sabujo, because there was a lot of questions about rewards, just basically maybe if you can talk about match rewards as well as planetary rewards.
Well, match rewards, initially we had a lot of people telling us they were making just as much, you know, per hour as they were in public queue, and that was certainly the way we designed it to be. Very difficult, but I think now, you know, especially if, you know, after the initial wave and everyone's playing Community Warfare, and you let people in there now, you know, initial thrills worn off, and, you know, they're waiting for some of these fixes and improvements. There's less people in the queues, so you're getting matches a little less frequently, and therefore, you know, your earnings have dropped down. So, I'm not going to react too quick on that though, because like I said, I just listed off a whole bunch of improvements to the queue, from, you know, call to arms to gripping with other faction members and faction chat, queue info, and I think all of these things are going to help get matches quicker and more efficiently, and your C-bill earnings are going to go up. So let's get these fixes in and see where your C-bill earnings are after that. And as far as the other thing, Darren, I think I touched on that as much really as I can. I'm focused on fixing the loyalty point title system, and then after that we're going to focus on I guess it's, you know, other rewards for taking over planets, and, you know, what happens if you have your unit tag on 5 planets, you start getting a discount from your faction, things like that. They're all on the drawing board. This also touches a little bit into logistics. We're not using the coffers yet, and we need to be. So
Get 3, then Omega fast.
yeah, we just want to think of something meaningful. We don't want to be just really lame, like, hey, oh shit, they're making, you know, about on average 20,000 more C-bills than we want them to be making. So now your drop fees are 20,000 C-bills per drop. So I want it to be something useful, something meaningful. I know the upgrading of turrets has been discussed quite a bit. I haven't heard a thought or design on that so far that I really like. Because right now at the moment I don't think turrets are. Well, I guess, I mean, it's just such a challenge in the, you know, the balancing system that when it comes to all of a sudden we've let them upgrade turrets, and now, you know, it's impenetrable. So I don't have much more for you there. Sorry. We're going to work on the loyalty points, get the titles working, and then we'll go to the drawing board for logistics part 1.
Sounds good.
Question in there, Russ. You know, when it comes to solo, even small groups, do you, or does, you know, design look at community warfare being a viable strategy to actually earning C-bills? And the reason I ask that is, you know, obviously a lot of solo players don't earn as much, while some of the big groups earn a lot of money. Do you expect people to step out into solo and group queue to earn C-bills, or do you want them to be involved with, you know, community warfare 24/7 and
I'm gonna like that, I bet, huh?
Well, I think currently it's, yeah, I mean, if you're a solo player currently in community warfare, you've got to step out and go to the public queue. You just can't expect, currently with the current design, with the current game modes, current functionality, that you're going to be able to make your living there. 12-man units can get away with it. They play 3 solid hours in the evening, running 12-mans nonstop on busy planets. Yeah, I think their earnings are probably very similar, perhaps even very good with the throwing the right faction. But yeah, smaller groups and solo players, it's just not there yet, depth of feature-wise for smaller game modes, you know, solo missions and all the things that will be there. So yeah, you're gonna have to expect to, you know, go into public queue and earn some C-bills.
2 lasers to do a saddle, 3 of them.
To like crank the C-bills up into the stars for the 3 matches a day you might get as a solo player on community warfare. You know, that would just totally destroy any kind of economy balance that happens for the 12-men. So yes, solo players, small groups, go earn some C-bills in solo queue. It's still a lot of fun over there.
All right, next question we have is from Budor, and he says, any chance of moving the old game modes to Community Warfare? Has your injury changed since last time, which was
Left is gone.
Well, it's still kind of no, but it's, I mean, in a way, it's also happening. I mean, you can basically look at counterattack game mode as a play on skirmish. So it's really a skirmish game mode. You know you're going to have more and more scouting mission that goes across deep into enemy territory and has to destroy a convoy, destroy the 4th floor of a particular building downtown, throwback mission to MW2. I think I'd rather do that. I think I'd rather look at new and interesting missions for community warfare than just saying, cool, play Conquest on, you know, Boreal Forest. So it's happening, but I just think it's happening in a more interesting way rather than just tossing the old game modes in.
All right, good question, Canuck. Next question is from Scout Derek, and there's a few questions about.
Oh no, it's Canuck's question.
Oh,
Right leg,
I'm sorry, got ahead of myself.
Far
Good question.
right, very
Budor.
far
Canuck
right,
asks, will we see additional tactical
That'll get you great
deployables such as landmines to deter rushes in community warfare in the future? And actually, that's what I meant to do. It was combining these two. So basically, modules. Will we see new modules? Will we see modules specific to
It's all
community
right.
warfare
That means they had
and
this
landmines?
to attack you,
online.
which made us get even
Weapons
closer to the base, so we
online.
got
Just
this,
because you asked, we will have them. I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
there's been a few thoughts about things like this. It's not screaming to the top of the pile right now,
Go
so
in front of me, I'm lagged.
cool idea. I'm sure there's some.
Okay.
I just feel like we have some really, really important things that we're handling right now that I just not really thinking about that at the moment. Sorry, that's as good as I have at the moment for that.
Be on the main generator, guys.
Next question we have is from Scout Derek, and he says, will we see modules specifically geared towards community warfare?
Well, that was part of my question just then, but
we got it.
Oh, did you already? Dirk.
yep. See, this is why we simplify the questions for ourselves, and we still trip up. It's getting late.
All right, Enforcer 444 says, are there any quirks coming, such as armor quirks, to make some tier 1 mechs like the Atlas
I was
viable?
about saying it then. I was holding back.
I
But they started complaining.
don't know. Did I?
Yes, there are changes to the Atlas.
The Atlas?
Yes.
They didn't get one in that last round, eh?
Pass-
They weren't included.
Yeah, Pass 2 isn't in yet, but there were
Pass 2
changes
is
to
in,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
there are some
no.
changes. Absolutely. I don't know. Is there armor? Yeah, there was some tweaks to the armor, wasn't there?
Do you want me to
Yes,
pull it up
there
real
is.
quick?
Nah. They're coming.
Well,
They're gonna
let's
be great.
expand on this in that not only are we still in
Anyway,
phase 1,
Radstadt is now
we still have
60%.
the rest of Pass 2,
So
and then
congrats,
phase
everybody.
2 is coming. So there's, as far as quirks in
That's
general,
why
since there
I
were a
used
lot
to
of questions
go.
about quirks, you want to just kind of maybe
There's
say where
22
we're
attackers
heading?
on Visville?
We're gonna finish our second pass
Why
on
is
phase
SK
1, I guess.
attacking us?
It gets all confusing.
Mhm.
As you know, we added quirks to all the
yeah,
Innisphere
that's-
mechs, and
I'm not worried about that.
after playing with them for a while, we figured out what would be even better in a lot of cases, maybe more around
for
stock
coming,
weapon
man.
loadouts and various things. And
Pleasure.
we put in maybe a quarter of those prior to Christmas. I squeaked in as many as I could. Some are still remaining, so Atlas is one of them. So we're gonna do the rest of that pass, and then possibly there's another pass beyond that, because
Very
we
tempted
have
to go- just go to Visville.
we have more
and see why the
functionality than
fuck
we
they're
used to when it
attacking
comes to quirks. But I don't know if Innisphere will get another pass after that. Probably not as priority. We'll probably spend some. Well, we will. We'll spend some time with clans. As soon as we get this. See, I'm confusing myself. Phase 2 of Pass 1 completed for Innisphere, then we'll probably spend some time with the clans for quirks.
No.
All right, lots more coming. Now, again, we're going to combine a couple questions because there were multiple along these lines. And this is dealing with the smallest of the small mechs, 20-ton mechs. There's two things that were popping up over and over again. One is there are there any plans basically to increase the survivability of the lightest mechs? That's from Skuro, Locust, whatever. Easy to get taken out with one shot in AC-20. And then Verger wants to know about the flea, as do a lot of other people. And I know you're asked this every single time, but
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I guess again, the first question it's
That
about
sounds
quirks.
like it's gonna take a while.
I'm trying to remind myself, Phil, was the second pass for Locust in that pass
Yes.
before Chris? It was.
Yes.
So I guess at the moment we don't have anything else planned for the Locust. I can't remember what other lights got their second pass. Did the Commando? I don't know.
I think they
We had
maybe-
some tweaks
I mean,
to the light mech.
the,
So
last
right
perk
now, as
pass
far as the
that,
Locust is concerned, I
with the
suppose at the
Thunderbolt
moment
9S was
it is what it
part
is.
one
But
of part 2 of
we
phase 1.
like we increased the leg stuff again, didn't we? I'm trying to remember here, but
Yes,
yeah.
the leg structure got doubled on pass 2.
No,
So
pass 2. So we've done quite a bit to help it. I mean,
obviously not
geez, we'll have to
immediately, but
you
not
know
far
break
off.
out the original version sometime
Guys
and
want me to
compare
get one
them.
more player from another
I don't know. I'm
group?
sorry. I'm not sure if the Locust was
If
ever
you
meant
can.
to eat dual Gausses. So
Isn't more than
You have a
Um,
preference?
I think we even
Not
we'll
really.
see. You know, I'm sure there's some more tweaks we can do.
Bojar's pretty
The
good. He's not in
flea.
there.
Actually,
it's-
let me combine.
He's
I'm
in
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Another light mech
Um,
is constantly brought up. So it's the flea
no,
and
it's
of course
yours.
the urban
Not
mech.
in
So
that
maybe you want to touch on both of those.
We're
See
halfway.
if they
Yeah,
were
we can talk about the
ready.
urban mech, but if you guys want to, but I'll look at chat. I don't think anyone really wants to talk about urban mech tonight.
Mind skipping
I'll
the
just
planets
I'll just
all
talk
over
about the
the
flea for a
place.
second, then we can
Mhm.
move on to the next one.
Um,
Um, basically,
this will not be a defense.
the flea is dead
What?
to me. I don't know. I don't care. It's
Huh.
we have the concept art as you say.
Did you guys
It just
drop?
hasn't found a moment
No,
in time
it
where we
was at
say, yeah,
37 attackers.
we should stop all mech production
and
for
something like
wave
48
2
defenders?
resistance, you
So
name it, anything
we
that we
would be on
basically released
defense
since
on a
we
counter
decided we were
attack,
going to make the
but then it
Locust
all dropped down to
and
28.
basically say let's
Really?
create another Locust.
Porter decided
Right?
to
Yeah, so
ready up and then
it's got
fuck that.
what is it? Mask? Is that a
Flea's
mask
dead.
one?
Yes.
Is that- yeah. All right. I know there's
It's
some
alright.
cool stuff about it.
Didn't
So
really like the flea much.
again, I just don't think it's gonna
Do we
get
have
priority for a
12?
bit. I'm sorry, guys. Another 20-ton,
mean, we got the
chicken leg
lowest
mech right now is
basically-
maybe just not what the
It
game
would
is
be just
screaming
as
for.
bad as that mech.
We
What
talk about
is
the
the
urban
game
mech.
screaming for? Yes, there we
Well,
go.
the game is screaming for the urban mech.
Should be
So
about the same size.
here's the deal. I don't know whether to believe you guys
They actually had
when
open
you say you
spaces
want the
and they
urban
need
mech or
people
not.
to
I
do it
really
well,
don't
so.
because
Okay,
I don't know. I
we'll
mean,
just,
is it
head
for
out the
real
room.
or is it more of a just
Look
like
the
urban
random
mech,
again.
one of those things? But I'm willing to test the waters. So essentially,
Poonstar.
January 20th, this coming Tuesday,
Nice name.
we are launching a page
we got this. Prune stars on our
to
team.
pre-order and purchase a package. What package?
Hey,
It's
we're on,
to
Social
buy the
Media
urban
Bubble
mech.
today.
It's happening right now, or at least it's probably
Stop,
happening.
brother.
It's kind of up to you. The concept art's all done. You're gonna see that. It looks pretty cool. Of course,
How do you know?
Alex did his thing, and now it looks sexy as can be.
Urban mech
The
maybe
interesting thing
pre-order.
is,
Oh man.
there is one quirk I can promise you. And we had to do some custom code work for this. The urban mech will have 360 torso rotation, so it'll turn
Bam.
360 degrees.
Yeah.
Now I can guess at some of the
that's
other
probably
quirks,
one
but I won't
want.
commit to anything else at the
360
moment.
torso rotation.
So on
It's gonna need
Tuesday,
It's gonna need
the page will go
everything
up. You can buy
get.
it. There's
For what?
2 packages. I think
think they're
we've
just
really
trolling
tried to
now.
price this very
Think of it
very
as a
reasonable.
10.
We're not
Think of
going
it
after
as
the
a high
$80
version
urban
of
mech package or the $200 package and the gold derbies and trying to just really play on everyone's emotions here, because I don't know for sure how people are going to buy it. I really don't. And it's not impossible that we'll put the mech up for sale, and within a
Put it
few
on its
days
head.
or within a week we'll say, you know
want
what,
the Timberwolf A.
I don't know if this is worth it. Let's maybe return everyone's money and just work on something else that people really, really want. So maybe you'll prove me totally wrong, and I think enough people want it, so I'm hopeful. But we're gonna put the package up for. There'll be 2 packages. One's called the I guess the standard package, and it has all 3 variants. No, hero version or custom skin version or anything like that. It'll just be 3 standard variants of the urban mech. You get 30 days premium time. You get a war horn, a cockpit item, and a title, and I forget now, but and a mech bay, of course. And essentially, I figured it out. Probably at least, even at bulk prices and stuff, at least $30 or more worth of content. And we're selling that package for $20. So it's a really good deal.
$20.
$20. And then there's the collector's
For 3.
package, and
Now that is
it is the
that is worth it.
custom geometry, custom skin, 30% SIVA bonus,
But does it
2
have
standard
hero
variants,
bonus?
3 mech bays, 3 cockpit items, 3 war horns, 60 days premium time, etc., etc. Really good deal. We're selling that one for
Oh, I like that.
$40.
Variant. That's going to be
So,
perfect for people who
you know,
use,
basically, I think
Trials and
very,
Grievance.
very high value on both packages. You guys will be able to judge for yourself when you see it go live. And we're only going to have 1 monthly reward. And this is again about the whole is like, are people serious and do they actually want it?
Photo for the urban map.
We're only gonna have 1 monthly reward. There won't be like monthly. So when's it gonna be released? It's gonna be early April, and no, it's not an April Fool's joke. Although even today we were joking about on April 1st, we'll just return everybody's money and say April Fool's. But no, it's not April Fool's joke. It's just the way it worked out with our mech production pipeline. It'll be kind of like, I think like first patch in April that it'll be released to you guys. So there's only gonna be 1 monthly reward though, just January. January 20th when we put it up for sale, and January 31st, just those, you know, 10 days. And if you buy within those 10 days, you're going to get a bunch of crap, a whole bunch of pretty, I think, fairly generous bit of rewards.
I got it.
And that's our way of kind of saying, if you're going to buy one, we really want you to buy one in the first 10 days so we can make a decision really quick that it's actually legitimately wanted. And, you know, by the end of January, we should know that it's for real, and everyone gets a lot of extra rewards. And it's going to be cool. And I'll even say this, if it's successful enough, this will probably spur me on to get the guys to make the stock only button for private matches. Because I think it'd be really cool to see like 12v12 stock urban matches fighting. So that would be neat. So some of you guys might be wondering also, what's it going to perform like? Well, when we did some of the design with David here, I said, look, this thing's got to be, if we can, as much as we can, let's try to make it viable. Let's try to make it like play a role in the game for real. So what makes it viable? Well, okay, 360 torso rotation, and it'll have some other quirks. It's 30 times, so it's very limited, but hard points, of course, like usual, we're more generous. I think every variant has at least 6 hard points, so you know, you want to pull off some of the bigger weapons, you can, you know, put on more weapons. So there's that, and then the biggest kicker though really is the upgrades, right? Because you can upgrade to ferrofibers and endosteel and all those things, and the engine, you can upgrade the engine. So this one's undecided at this moment, and we wanted to kind of maybe gather more opinions from the community before we lock it in. But basically, we had to make another special case for this mech to function in our game, and that is, you know, the smallest engine in our game I think right now is like a 100. But the thing that comes with a 60, a standard 60. So we actually had to make a standard 60 engine, and it actually is going to have a negative tonnage on it. It's the only way we could figure out to make it work in our game. And so you can run the thing stock and go like 32 kph, and that's how they'll come. But the one thing we haven't decided yet is, what will the max engine cap be? I suppose we have the capability.
A group to do it that way.
There's only one. He's on my list.
Ability of making the thing run as fast as a spider if we want. So we haven't decided yet where we'll put the engine cap.
Sure,
but it'll definitely, in my opinion, it'll be something, you know, higher. It'll be so people can actually upgrade it and put an engine in there and actually run around with the 360 torso rotation and actually play with the thing. So we'll gather some feedback before we decide on what the actual max engine cap is. But that's the one main element we thought that players might be interested in supplying opinions. Anyhow, there it is. So we'll see. We shall see. Tuesday it's going to go live, and it'll be available in the gift store for the beginning too. So if you want to buy one for somebody, you can do that. So again, I think there's a lot of opportunities here for January for players to, you know, get some interesting content. You've got all the new clan variants, and you've got the urban mech. And I swear, if we don't sell very many urban mechs, I'm not gonna fall for it again. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, go out there and I don't know, listen to the hype. The hype. We'll see. It looks super cool though. You're gonna love it. It looks so good.
He is such a tease.
I mean, you saw it basically with the Christmas card, right? It just said it was covered up, and
yeah.
There's 700 people, Samad, almost 800 people, and I think every single one except one ended. Yeah. So, and it's
chat was entertaining for the last few minutes, no doubt about it.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. We have J135 says, will we see champion mechs and chassis bundled continue to roll out in Q1? How about
After we
other
take
hero
our
mechs?
gates, what's the plan?
Online.
I'll see to that once we do.
Yeah, I think
Assumptions.
boy, there's just never enough
Yeah,
mech
but
capacity.
not within
Yeah.
I know we're still missing a couple heroes and champions for some of the
It's gonna be
original
tough.
Industry mechs. There's, you know, the Wolverine and a few. I'll just say, yeah, we're just at every spare moment we're gonna
Target
get
You're
try to
not
get
Brody.
more of those in the game. Something just flashed across my mind. I'll bring up now is kind of related. Is recently we finally found some time to figure out our pathway to fixing the scaling issues on the the AC-20 in particular for the Centurion and all the AC-20s and stuff. So that kind of unlocks our ability to finally finish off the rest of the retrofit mechs. I don't have a release schedule for
Narcs
them
off.
yet, but we had 2 or 3 other of the original mechs with the retrofits complete, but we weren't really wanting to release them until we fixed the scaling issue. So we've got a pathway to fix that. So over the course of the next couple of months, I hope we can get the rest of these original, like the Awesome and the Dragon, those original mechs out with their mech lab retrofit. And yeah, so that's kind of goes hand in hand with the original mechs and getting their champions and heroes out. And we like to put bundles together for master bundles, which are obviously amazing deals when we have a champion, a hero, and a regular variant. So yeah, just keep mentioning which bundles you'd like to see, and we'll keep adding them.
Speaking of which, this goes along with the question: clan heroes, when?
Yeah, good question. That's just one of those things that we keep saying, hey, we still haven't done a clan hero yet. I don't know yet. No ETA for you.
Every clan mech is a hero mech, but that's coming from so many places. Sphere. Anyway, the next question is from KJ, and KJ asks, "Are there plans for destructible terrain in MWO?" This has come up in previous meetings before, but just to summarize, I think we know that there's limitations as far as destructible buildings and so forth on the big scale, but more towards trees, lampposts, cars, etc.
Yeah, I mean the priority for me is collisions, more so than anything like that. So collision meaning mech on mech collision, and mech tree collisions. I really hope the time is fast approaching when we can work on that, and I mean that sincerely, because it's one of the things, but my main pet peeve. Mechs need to properly run up against each other and scrape and bang and smash and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really worried about destructible terrain at the moment. Sorry, I know it'd be cool, it'd be very immersive, but there is a few pretty important items before that.
Good target on turret.
Ribus Crad says, "Are you willing to postpone major features for a while in favor of a good polish period?"
Well,
Target
I'd love to, but I don't think we'll really be granted that sort of leeway in general. You can see it even just in the last couple weeks. We've been in beta for like less than a month, and it's just like you went from like, this is amazing, take your time on Christmas break, to like, this game is done. So we have to keep working hard on features. So that really is never going to change. Having said that, I think we're kind of right now in a period where we can kind of look at it like that. I mean, even though we're working on a lot of features, all this chat, Q info, and just everything we've mentioned here tonight, there's lots of great features here. They are a little bit in the category of improvements, polishing efforts on sort of main big features. So in a way, I do feel like there's a lot of improvement happening right now and kind of polishing over the next couple of months. So I don't know. That's the best I can do for you there on that one.
All right, sounds good. Next question is from Shivar. I understand getting maps completely created by the community would be a QC nightmare, but that doesn't prevent the community from supplying the concept and layout with PGI team doing the actual modeling. There's not a question there, but just, I guess he's saying, is that possible? Yeah, that would be community design or inspired maps with you guys doing the design.
Yeah, it's another one of those unfinished business subjects where we here said, hey, we're gonna get this, and this done, and then we'll talk about that. So at this point, I basically owe everyone a conversation about that. But I will take this moment to talk about the maps for a second. And so February 3rd, we still plan on having the next Community Warfare map. So that's the Gorge, that's the Canyon Networks themed one.
Thanks for getting one.
We have a great pipeline now. So anything we do community-wise now with maps is kind of gonna, you know, impact this. Yeah, but basically, we've got a really nice pipeline figured out. You know, we've got plans for like a HBG moon-themed one. We've got plans for a, I don't know, I can't remember now. Like, well, there's the Tourmaline desert-themed one, and we've got them all lined up. And if we can stick with our, you know, this process we put in place now, we should see a new community warfare map. We have a good chance at seeing a new community warfare map each month moving forward here for the next few months anyhow. So we'll see one in February. We have a good chance of seeing another one in March and seeing another one in April, etc. Because we're really being efficient at working with the existing, you know, asset sets we have, and we've got a nice process for getting those done. So I think that's pretty cool. We're going to see a very nice cadence of new maps into community warfare over the next 3 or 4 months. Right now, I think that's highly valuable. So I'm very adverse to doing anything to kind of shake that up and kind of throw that off kilter. So I guess that's the best I can answer that right now. I don't want to really upset that, because I think there's very few people, I mean, I'd say, awesome, you know, 4 months from now, we'll have 4 community warfare maps. I think that's of high value.
Russ, to go along with that, toss this in there, because I know I've heard the feedback, countless discussions. You know, when are you guys going to dedicate resources to fix and expand the current solar regular maps? That's a big topic that's always been brought up. I think you even said it, some of the maps are too small, haven't been updated. Is that something where you guys are possibly can dedicate some resources to? And maybe it's not a big overhaul, but just little things here and there.
Right now the resources for the next 4 months, as far as I know, are completely dedicated to making sure that people have more than 2 maps to play in community warfare. And so I hope 4 months from now we've got 6 maps to play in community warfare. And right now that is of highest value. There's concern about going beyond the dozen or so we have in solo queue. I understand that, but not as much concern as there is playing all community warfare matches on 2 maps. So highest priority wins, and right now that is getting more maps into community warfare.
That gate yet, so I don't think they'll be expecting us to go that way.
All right. We had Mad Librarian. We already sort of talked about this, which was API stats tracking. Warfare, you said stuff's coming down the line, so we're going to go on to the next one, which is Control-Alt-V. Are there any plans to allow players to upgrade standard mechs with hero or champion bonuses, i.e. add 30% C-build boost to a normal spider variant via MC?
No, there's no plans at the moment.
Easy. Moving on to the next one from Hoffenstein. What would you say is the most innovative, entertaining thing that PGI is working on right now for MWO? That's a vague, big question, but maybe there's something.
Well, I mean, right now isn't really, right now is grunt work time, right? It's cleanup time, it's fix time, it's polish time, it's improve time. And we worked on, if you asked me that question in, you know, October and November, it would have been a really easy answer. It's like, we're working on community warfare and
you know that FPS
dropship mode,
just go
you know, all the awesome stuff. And right now, you've heard me mention everything we're working on. There's a lot of really great stuff in there, but it's all like stuff that's like makes it better and better and better and better and better, not like something, you know, way out there and brand new and totally unique. So I don't know, to me, almost anything I've mentioned tonight I think is a big deal, but that's just me. So I don't know, you guys would have to answer that now after having heard me talk all this time about all these things.
Okay.
You pick what stands out most to you. There's lots of things to me that I think are really exciting.
Yeah, honestly, to me, community warfare is the answer, but and that can be what you're working on now, because you're going to be working on community warfare for the foreseeable future. But anyway, Phil, you want to go to the next one?
All right, so we have a few questions that have already been answered, so I'm going to move on. We have Merowin, I don't know how to pronounce that. In the current timeline, the Fedsuns and Lyrans are allied by the marriage of Steiner and Hans Debian, creating the Federation Commonwealth. Will the future of the community warfare map reflect this, with the removal of the planets being active in the attack defense order list?
And basically, I wanted to add on to this. There was a few kind of lore-based questions like this, and so basically the question is, how much will lore influence what's happening with the map? Will there be events planned, or is it just completely 100% player-based?
Ooh, ammo explosion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I guess I'd have to, you know, hear what some of the other ideas are beyond this particular question from a lore perspective, because my opinion going into it was let the players decide, let the players create the alliances. There was a lot of alliances we could have put in place, you know, we could have put, you know, hard-coded alliances between, you know, Steiner and Davian, we could have put one between Merrick and Lau, we could have put one, you know, between other factions, but, you know, we didn't. There was a few reasons. One, it did increase the complexity of the contested planets by, you know, an enormous amount, but I also felt it was kind of presumptuous a little bit. I understand it's canon, but I thought it was very interesting for players to be able to create the alliances on their own, and we've already seen a lot of that, and so far I think it's been great. I think it's been very, very interesting to see players creating their alliances on their own, and to me that's the best solution. Other people would have different opinions and disagree, but I like players in politics personally.
New target acquired.
Phil, you good to go?
Yep. Let's see. We've got Driven the Bus. Thoughts on resolving community warfare planets being one loss due to a massive ghost drop. What are your thoughts on ghost drop?
Well, they're not being won by massive ghost drops. I got the stats. They're just flat out not. I think right now we're missing the information you're missing is all the stuff I mentioned we're going to give you between the next two patches, especially the Q info stuff, so you can see all the strike teams lined up against each other in all 15 zones, and they're all being contested, and everyone that's queued up, and you're going to be able to, instead of sit there and go, what's going on? I'm going to infer what's happening and assume there's things happening, and you're going to be able to tell exactly what's happening. So you can tell there's lots of hero drops. Or hero drops. I read something to hero chat. Ghost drops. And again, I mean, we did the math. There's 12% of all the matches launched in the entire day are ghost drops. And about 90% of those happen outside of those final 3 to 4 hours. So they're not. But so that's how we're going to resolve it. We're going to do all the things I've already mentioned here on these first two things. You know, I understand a lot of these questions they're all brought up before we start this chat, so I may have answered that like in the first 10 minutes of the conversation. That is going to reduce the current 12% ghost drops in a total day to even the lower amount. I'm expecting the call to arms changes itself to lower that percentage even further, and possibly even get it down to 0 or very close to 0 in those, especially in those final 2 or 3 hours of each of the contested ceasefire times.
There's a win there.
Cool. And then we have a couple questions that I'm going to combine. Actually, there were more based on these ideas. Basically, new weapons being introduced. Hawk819 asks, any chance of new weapon systems for the Inner Sphere like Streak 4s and 6s, 10XS with the Snub-Nose PPC, and LBX ammo changes happen in 2014, and will we see the Blazer? And if you're not familiar with that, it's like a double large laser type weapon or whatever.
Right. I disconnected.
Well, I think for now we're sticking with
you guys already launched
timelines.
Join up on me.
So if one of the weapons get out, if you know there's something within the timeline that we should have, we'll definitely look at that as more of a priority item. But obviously, when it suits us in particular, we stick with the timeline and canon. So right now, it's not like it's sitting on a priority list.
43. I'm gonna.
That's it. Does that answer it? I mean.
Yeah, but actually.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Can I segue with that? Because there's actually quite a few people asking about the timeline. Is there anything you can speak to on the timeline as far as where it's going?
Beyond just the fact that now it's like January 15th, 30, 50, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, people are concerned that it'll reset again, or wondering how fast it's going to progress because people are looking at weapons and mechs that are down the timeline, and they're anxiously waiting for it or whatever. Is there any? Do you have any word on the progression of the timeline?
Yeah, I have no. I doubt highly that will stick to the timeline personally. We will move it along just as soon as it suits us, meaning we've got all these features in, we've improved everything, and everything's looking just dandy, and we've gone through and implemented and sold all the great meaningful mechs, and we need the timeline to move up in order to get new and interesting content into the game. And we're truly in need of Streak Forge and 6 for Innersphere and various mechs that are in the timeline just a couple out years into the future. Absolutely, we'll jump forward. Of course, whatever's best for gameplay, whatever's best for the game. I'm not going to make people wait 2 real years to get to meaningful content if we need it sooner. So that's
as
all
development
I have.
demands it.
Yeah, that's all I have at the moment, though, about that.
Cool.
All right, next question we have Guy Rock Carnes. Would PGI consider implementing mass mechs that do not break HSR due to speed overlaps, mechs such as the Shadowcat, Executioner, and others that would not be a danger of breaking the game?
Yes, we would consider
Cimarb,
that,
did,
absolutely.
Say they're a new variant for every single?
Good to go.
Everything but the Hellbringer.
Next question is from Odenan.
And he also
says,
just said
when can we
that
expect
they would
Clan Wave
consider
3?
implementing just
Well,
the
we've already
mask
kinda talked
max
about this in here,
that
Clan Max,
don't
sorry.
break the speed cap.
Catra, Solaris Arena, free for all game mode. When?
170.
Well, that would be fine.
I think that's
So like
a
the
very
Shadowcat,
interesting
the
thought.
Executioner,
I guess
stuff
all I
like
can really
that.
say for now is it's right in that category of when I talked about, okay, I can see this great storytelling device of the map of the inner sphere, and I can see us implementing more depth in the game modes, invasions and landings and all these things, and counterattack game modes, and then maybe 4v4 scouting missions, and maybe even 1 versus PvE missions for the solo type player. And just right in that category of subjects is the notion of clicking on Solaris, launching a mission on there, which is entering tournaments and just doing everything involved with Solaris. It's just the only hold up now, of course, is because that's quite a bit of work, as you can imagine. We could probably spend as much time as we've spent and will spend on community warfare just in creating an extremely deep and meaningful Solaris experience. So it's not a small undertaking. I don't think many people here would like to see it in a very meaningless way.
It was
just
my
like
battery
click on it
backup
and like
decided
do something really lame.
Switched to
So
battery mode.
that's a big deal. It takes a
was
long time. So it's
almost
a
another
major
pillar.
feature. It's really another full. We could spend 6 months designing an awesome Solaris mode. So there's really no chance that it's going to see us working on it in the first half this year anyhow.
Well, I think we're counterattacking right now.
Don't know,
Yeah,
but you can.
we're defending
It's
the
obvious
planet.
course of action. Look at it. You can see it staring at you on the map. So
Paul
there
has
we go.
teased us already that he's examining it, etc.
Question, Corbin, Zachary, and this is actually pretty pertinent. I'd like to hear your feedback. How do you plan to handle non-participation in community warfare? Players tying down units by stretching match timers to keep them tied up. Basically, what's happening to us, if you weren't aware,
you on the
is
roster
there's
for America? I can go look if
literally units dropping.
you're not sure.
And not attacking. They just sit back and because to either tie a unit down and or because the other team is potentially decked out or something to the effect. Have you guys
Overpowered.
Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah, no, I have heard of this. I don't have anything to say about it yet. Split decision there too. I mean, some people think it's very, hey, fair tactic. I mean, smaller units. Excuse me, tying up, the comp teams or whatever. I don't know. There's nothing yet. I don't have anything screaming at me like I have to stop.
You know what?
You know, all future development and come up with
PG
something
wants to
for
be,
that.
You know,
I
douchey.
assume
us
it's
and
mostly the
fuck with our,
attacking
you know,
team, of course.
ceasefires.
It's not
We're
pushing
gonna waste their
inside the
time,
base.
boys.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, the flame
It's,
wars.
it's the attacking team holding
Yeah,
down.
right.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
They're gonna be pissed.
one, we're going to see
I don't even give
a new
shit.
counterattack mode. So
Up then.
that's going to decrease the opportunities for that, isn't it?
Trying to
I
be
mean, it's
stealthy, or do we want
perhaps
to take
even
down
on
the
a
gate?
very busy planet, potentially 50% of the matches now
just
are going
take
to be
it
the
down.
new
Doesn't matter if you're
counterattack
stealthy.
mode, which means those teams are going to be able to
If
be
you leave the
aggressive and
gates up,
push out
you
and
need
just
some of them would
There's,
be able
eat
to
those
come out.
people alive. So it is going to
Something
be,
with large
that's actually a
lasers.
very safe statement to say. The opportunities for people to
Hellbringer, as you
use
see
that
it.
tactic probably gets cut in half when the new counterattack game mode goes in on February 3rd with the new map and stuff.
I think one of the
That's a good first step for that, I think.
I think one of the suggestions from the
Yeah, there's a
community,
few of them
and
on
I've
the hill
talked
now.
to units that have experience as
Target
being the
acquired.
defensive
Actually
party,
look like Nova.
is that the defense should be able to open the gates or some
Crow
way or shape
there.
to be able to either open the gates or be able to get over the gates if you're the defending party, and that would solve it. Because basically,
just a
even a
Nova.
counterattack, that doesn't help the teams that are dropping.
Jump chatting
And
Nova.
this is
Pop
happening.
farting
I
with
think that's
lasers?
basically, the issue.
Airstrike.
This is old
Ability of the
Mech 4
defenders
right
to
here,
call in a Union class dropship. That
But I
kind
like
of
to do the Novas also.
I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah. Here's two questions that I can combine. Hopefully easier to answer. We are winding up, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed. From JTSR, he wants to know, will we see unit logos included on our mechs in the future? And Talus 9 basically want to know the current state of decals.
We
He's
don't.
joking.
Yes, the decals
He's saying that
system
because they
is
changed
The clans,
faction.
yeah.
good news. It's it's essentially done, and we are, like some of the other things I
My
brought up
leg,
around VoIP
little
and
crow.
faction chat, just needing a little bit
Airstrike
more UI work to get it done. So it's not
Call
very
out
far off.
Jaeger. Jaeger's Charlie.
I don't have
He's
really
our target.
as much of a date.
Primary
It's not
target's
quite the
gonna be
situation as
Charlie.
those things I mentioned, but
Ooh, Carp is here.
New
quarter
target
one seems
acquired.
very, very viable for, and very realistic for
Golf.
decals. So,
Who's that?
yeah,
Who's the
I'll
doctor?
just throw that out there. So it's not too far
Yeah.
out, and I think
Is that
we'd
how
love
they
to
drop
use
commander?
those
For QQ.
in a lot of meaningful ways. You know, I
Yep.
could see them
That's cute.
making their way into
It's
the
cute.
loyalty point reward
Target
package
acquired.
list.
Yeah.
Lots of different ways, and I believe there is a,
Oh,
you know,
that one.
get a little gun shy now, but the plan was to have 3 different channels. I think that's still the plan. 2 of the channels we would provide the deck
One
for.
on
The
him,
3rd
too.
channel with a strong possibility of being user created, so units could
What are you guys on?
submit their own
Spice
decal
bill.
for their
Spice
unit. There would likely be an MC cost associated with that, and you'd have to meet with the
Just gonna waste the time. I mean,
you know, the terms of service or
New target
EULA, you know,
acquired.
That's a stop.
what do you call it, situation for that. So, you know, dick pics and stuff like that would be a
Right.
waste of your MC. But yeah,
Oh, has
units
Steiner
could
actually been
supply
defending
their,
that Andy?
decals. So I'll get an
No,
update on that
we are
as
no
soon as
longer to
possible.
attack
But
that.
it's just kind of you know, just underneath some of those other items I mentioned,
Them's
and
the rules.
just these are final touches on it.
Alright, one more question we had
What,
was,
'cause Merc started
okay, Wolf,
getting,
I was wondering why you decided to
planets
allow
they
Mercs
got when they were
players to
Steiner,
work
now
for
they're getting them
clans
all to
that
go
get
Steiner.
terraforming
I
with phase
I think
3.
they may spend it here.
Isn't it funny?
That's fine.
So 3 of these guys are on their comp team. The rest
Oh,
are scrubs.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
player
You count Jaeger.
player design feature, frankly.
He's
um,
SJR.
A huge amount of our
I
players
just
said they
crashed the
wanted to
desktop.
to use
that's
their
not
what do you call it,
It's
their
pretty hot.
clan mechs and their inner mechs. They want to use everything in community warfare, and I was unwilling to mix technologies. I wanted to truly simulate the clan invasion. I wanted clan mechs fighting inner mechs and carving their way down to the
Smoke.
inner so players said, hey, they wanted to use, the only way to do that really was to have seasonal resets of the map, which was highly undesired by the majority of our players. This was the greatest and best solution
That guy's gonna get
to
really
allow
annoying.
them to, for a fee or after a time,
Yes,
break
he
their
is.
contract and to play for the other side and use their other content. So I
Yeah.
don't really look at it like Mercs playing for The clans, I look at it like players.
I think he was in the Crow, right?
Being able to play their clan mechs and being able to play their inner sphere mechs. So
Yeah.
I know there's a little bit of a presentation that's a little distasteful. We might come up with some other things that make that a little more tasteful from a canon perspective, but the end functionality I think will always exist for players to be able to, after a certain amount of time or whatever, be able to go back and forth and use all the content they've bought.
Target acquired.
All right, well, Russ, I mean, understandably, you're going on a 12-hour day here or whatever, and you're getting tired. We do have 2 more questions on the dock. It's up to you if you want to answer them or if you want to save them for another time. One from P-Dog regarding Oculus Rift and one from Thallow regarding weekday as opposed to weekend events. Up to you.
I'm stuck.
Sure, let's do it. I mean, Oculus Rift is super cool, and it's obviously got a lot more kind of going behind it now with the recent merger with Facebook and everything, so it seems really legit. And this is just one of those things that, you know, as you can kind of imagine us all sitting around and working on all the things that listed that are just like firefighting, like just critical features we need to just make the game better, like as soon as possible. And then someone brings up Oculus Rift and we're like, that is the coolest thing ever, let's do it. But when, right? Does it really come before finishing decals? Does it really come before finishing all these things? And you know, it's different skill sets, different people. But you know, there's usually something like this touches on everything. You know, touch on a little bit of UI for, you know, choosing it, and it takes a concerted effort and usually has to beat out features. So far, it hasn't been able to beat out, you know, the other things that we need. But I think that it's you guys would know more than me, I guess, probably, but you know, it's moving towards sort of an actual legit release in 2015. Is that right?
Are you talking about Oculus?
Yeah, Oculus. Is it how about beyond just like, hey, buy the latest prototype, you know, SDK prototype? Is there actually a retail version coming out in this year?
That is beyond my knowledge.
Yeah,
okay.
Neither Phil and I have delved into that yet.
It'll be super cool. I want to have it. I think obviously MechWarrior
It's been almost 10 minutes and we've only lost
great
4
product
of them
for
3.
it. I mean, I can't think of any game that's
any
better than just really being right in your cockpit of your back. So I get it. I get that it's desired for sure.
We haven't pushed it.
It's just priorities.
No,
and then
I'm just gonna play with them.
Weekday events, you think we'll ever have?
We had 19
actually, some of the
minutes,
weekend
I think,
events
right,
obviously
first,
do bleed it a little bit into the beginning of the week or the end of the week, but anything like a weekend, I'm sorry, a week-long event.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, there's no reason we couldn't. You know, right now it's really just about us.
5 minutes left.
You know,
anyway,
working within our own sort of
limitations.
You know, we come in weekend, we sit down,
doing what I was thinking.
Go in the boardroom. We have every Monday or Tuesday we have our marketing meeting, and generally it's you know, we're planning everything. We're planning everything from
we never told
you know what's
go,
are we gonna sell this weekend? Are we gonna have an event this weekend? You know, what work we have to do on the day group packages coming up, like we have the clan variants and the urban mech stuff to plan. And generally, you know, it's hard to keep coming up with cool and interesting events each weekend. So. Yeah, and there's really no reason. Like, take this weekend's event, for instance, we could have said, you know what? Let's not run it this weekend. Let's run it Monday to Friday next week. But, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense right now because definitely get the highest player count on the weekend. To have a lot more playing time. It's usually our, you know, motivation to generate as many reasons as possible. People come and play our game on the weekend.
New target acquired.
Were you that unlucky?
That sounds good. Well, Russ, we're going to let you take off and get some rest. We totally appreciate you coming by and spending these well over 2 hours with us tonight. Thank you to all of you in chat. We had close to 800 people the entire time. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you for the questions. Again, we apologize. I mean, you see right there, we went, you know, over 2 hours. Got through as many questions as we possibly could, but we do miss some questions, and it's inevitable. Sorry if your question didn't get asked. Hopefully you can get it into the next town hall that we will announce whenever we're getting ready to plan that. Phil, you have anything you want to add?
No, just want to say thank you again to everyone who's here. Hey, if this is your first time at this channel, make sure to hit that follow button. That way you guys get email notifications.
Get out of here,
I'd like to say thank you to everyone behind the scenes that you did not hear or see. like Deadfire, Windbreaker, and everybody
good.
else who
Turret's
was doing
down.
the questions.
Thanks,
Kudos, and again, thank you, Russ. I think you made everyone's day just by
fuck.
Urban Mech. I think that's
Fuck.
you don't.
If you guys got
that's
already
all you
put
had
it
to say.
down.
If you could have just shown up and just been like, "Yeah, it's coming."
Don't forget Union class dropship.
Yeah, and Union class dropship. Anyways, Russ.
So we'll see, man. Everyone's gonna have to show up. You know,
Prove
January
it.
20th end of the year,
Well,
and
it's the
definitely
pleasure.
prove that you like it. The clan variants, I'm very excited about that. That's gonna breathe a lot of new life into all the clan mechs and the more omnipods. Cool event this weekend. Opportunity to get a new, if you don't have one already, or if you just need the C-bills in the mech bay, we're gonna give away a Cataphract 3D champion, bringing back a classic. Awesome, guys. Looking forward to the next few patches. Hang in there. I know you guys want more content. You want it yesterday. And we'll keep talking about some of those other items, you know, those important subjects that keep popping up, like ghost heat and everything, and maps, and keep working hard for everybody.
Excellent. And quick reminder, this will be available up on our YouTube page at No Guts No Galaxy TV either late tonight or early in the morning. And then shortly following that, it'll be up on SoundCloud
I
as well.
almost got away with it too. If it wasn't for those meddling kids.
You pushed out Alpha.
Did they?
Yeah, they're coming up on C5.
Okay. Let me take a look at the map once I drop it.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
Alright.
Smoke.
Alpha Lance, guys.
Airstrike
Go over
online.
C6 to Beta Gate. I can't tell which one is the pug.
New target acquired.
Bug is in Charlie Lance. X
We got
Storm.
one in Alpha and one in Charlie.
Alright, he'll stay with you guys to give you a hand.
Airstrike online.
Us three will be
Night
in
Torso's
Beta.
Echo.
Oh,
Jones, go ahead, take the gate down, or wait for you.
Airstrike
Torso
online.
uniform.
could kneel that generator. So. One.
Are you guys down? Are they still all out there?
They pulled back.
Ah, okay. Because they counted.
Two, and we removed the leg on another, so.
Alright.
Nova's still there.
Yeah. Bravo 4 is in Mech 2.
There's two of them here.
But they left them to die.
How nice, right? Alright, boys, break down that gate.
Target
Alpha,
acquired.
guys. Get ready. See if you can get Gen 3 once we start hitting this sucker.
There's at least two inside of Alpha Gate.
Target destroyed.
Hypothetically, if you rush it, you should be able to get Gen 3. But
Yep.
I would rather you not do that just yet.
Heat level critical.
Gates open. Alright. Let's look for contacts before we move in.
You see them next to the left of the gate.
Yep. Whiskey,
There's three moving towards us. Yeah, Beta.
Okay.
And a few over to Mega too.
Target
street
acquired.
Where the hell are these streets?
The Hellbringer. Whiskey.
He's boating on his right side.
There's two.
Alright guys, X is going to be your primary target. It's pretty beefy.
Push in. There's only the 2 here.
Push in. Yeah.
Down the main
Heat
red.
level critical. Airstrike online. New target
Alright,
acquired.
or beta gate. We're gonna go
Target
for the little
destroyed.
tiny hill bump to your left. There's gonna be a
Wait,
crow.
check it
New
out.
target acquired.
Let's remove him from the game, huh? Let's go.
We are now in ceasefire.
Raider 3 is down.
Fantastic. That means we can play for fun.
There's a already ready.
Yeah. So I want to still wait.
Let's see if we can get Gen 1 quickly. Going.
Roger.
Oh, watch it.
Turret.
Remember that drugs.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, just change the interface?
Airstrike online.
Once I change the interface, I can't see whether there's people on any planets or not anymore.
Target acquired.
I still showed 36 minutes of the ceasefire. My screen was
Okay,
Oh, I
okay.
see it.
Go towards HH, going that way to get Gen 2.
New target
The
acquired.
thing is, we know that there's games going on, but it's not showing anything. It's showing everything is dead.
New target acquired. Airstrike online.
Little guy. Bye, little guy.
New target acquired.
Whatever the case, we've got Radstadt and I've Shellyak.
Warning incoming missile. Right torso
You guys
critical
okay?
damage.
They're shooting one.
Down to only one.
Oh, you killed him, Ray. Shit, shoot a mega. Shoot a mega.
Right arm destroyed. Large pulse laser destroyed. Destroyed. Center torso critical damage.
Alright. This is gonna be it. We should have it, this one.
Are we going back to Alpha?
Yes, but we'll actually do the same thing we did last time, so Alpha lands to Beta. That worked out pretty damn well, actually. Alpha
Airstrike
would have gone
online.
Gamma, but it's gonna take
Reactor
too long.
online.
Okay.
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Let's roll.
Jump the gate?
The turrets are up, so they'll see you coming.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would have been great.
Somebody's attacking me.
Panzer, because he doesn't want to listen. Orders.
What's going on?
See?
What?
What? Where? What?
Coordination.
Teamwork? What's that? I thought this was a
I thought I was
Fuel
distracted.
at 25%. Target acquired.
Yeah, right. So that Jaeger's gonna come running out with his street.
X is
crow.
coming through the pass.
Kill him.
Bye.
Big crow.
Kill him a lot.
Look over there.
Oh,
it's
my
a
kill, my cookie.
He's got the sign.
Target destroyed.
Damn.
And not Vigil comes in for the steal.
Just happily ran up to him. Thought he was all mine.
Alright, guys, let's do this and let's do it good. Beta gate, we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. Hit that hard left to get around instead of going through. Unless they have. Oh, yeah, we do. What are those LRMs doing? They're coming out. There's two.
Target acquired.
Got UAV up.
Turn it out.
UAV down.
Move in. fuck that vulture's doing. Nice.
Heat level
Deal with
critical.
Helby next.
Here. So far.
Oh, no.
Target
There we
acquired.
are. Alright, Alpha Gate. Now's a great time for you guys to start moving in.
Alpha
we have quite a
is
few
Yeah,
by
maybe.
us.
a ghost
And
town.
it is empty.
Go for it. I think they think we're going this way. Just fine by me. If we meet a lot of resistance, we're gonna hunker down here.
Ignore Q. He's
Better hurry up,
here.
Panther.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think they've retreated back to
target
attack
acquired.
now.
And there's
go, Beta.
not enough here.
I think
They're probably just staying on Omega.
that'd be my bet.
Airstrike
I got a
online.
Helby right in front of me. He's going to our right. And this guy. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
New target acquired.
Moving forward to different
This is
source.
gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Right.
Heat level critical.
Go down.
Get that Omega.
Got it.
Can't stop the train.
You guys gonna wait for me to kill this Storm Crow?
You guys brought my bill down to 2%.
They can't handle us with their FR. They can handle us with their smoke jacks.
That'll probably get him fuming.
Jaeger just said